Hello, 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 hello. How is everybody today? I really think I need to add a little bit of music to that countdown so that it's not just a number counting down. I'm guessing you can probably hear me in the background though, so I'm always like, I wonder what you guys hear. All right, so welcome. Thank you for hanging out with me. Let me know you can hear me, see me, everything looks okay, everything seems okay. Let me know so I don't have anything wrong and I can change anything in case anything's not quite right. We can do that before we kind of get started into it. So let me know if everything seems okay. Let me know if you're here, you're hanging out, who's with me today. Hello, Annalisa. Nice to see you. I brought my hand up to wave and then realized you probably couldn't see it. Hi, Cherry. How are you today? Hi, Val. How are you? Good to know. Okay, so looks and sounds great. Okay, perfect. That's what I need to hear. I did print out a swatch sheet, I guess this would be, for the watercolor pencils so that I could kind of get an idea of all the colors before I started kind of actually coloring the images. So we're going to start with that because I figured that would just be a good way for me to see all the pencils in use. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to stamp out and color these beautiful images from a Tim Holtz set that came out a couple weeks ago, I believe. Hello, Peggy. How are you today? So this is his set. I don't know. Do you guys weed your sets? I always kind of just leave them and then just take the stamp out as I need it, but just kind of what I do. But yeah, so we're going to watercolor these with the Tim Holtz pencil crayons. That's the plan for today. But because I haven't used some of my pencil crayons, I thought it would be, pencil. They're watercolor pencils, not pencil crayons, because he has crayons, but the watercolor pencils, I thought I would swatch them first, just so that I could get a feel for each color, because I have a tendency to stick to the exact same color palette all the time, and so I thought maybe we could swatch them, get an idea, and then kind of go from there. So that's what I'm thinking. Peggy, you weed the large ones. I don't tend to weed any of them. I'm really bad, because I like to know, like if I'm missing one, not on this is a bigger set, but like on some of his sets that have the like small ones, I can see if something's missing because it's not in its spot, right? Whereas if you weed it, if it falls off, I don't even know I'm missing it necessarily. So I tend not to weed my sets, but I don't know. That's just my preference, I think. But yeah, so let's kind of get into some watercoloring. So of course I have my picket fence pencil just sitting here. I'm not totally sure what to do with it because it doesn't fit in the tins. So currently I just kind of have it like floating on its own, which I don't know. I need to figure out what to do with it. But of course there are 6 sets, so you have them all, and I put them in the color order based on this color sheet, which is how Tim Holtz has now arranged them. So I kind of have like the pinks and reds, orange and yellows, greens into teals, blues, and then blues into purples, and then like browns and grays and black. So that's kind of how I have them kind of set up, and then they just match how they're set out in here. And then of course picket fence is the extra because technically the distress palette, not all of the distress palette has a white, so I don't really know what to do with it, but that's what I've done. But I figured we could start here and then we would stamp out some images and color them. So yeah, tell me how your days are going. What'd you guys get up to today? Anything exciting? Anything fun? We'll have to see if I can even keep these in order. Because I put them in order, but as I use them, I might put them back in the wrong spots. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, there are 72 colors because all of the colors are out now. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to see. I'm not sure if I can keep them all in frame and watercolor with them at the same time. Hello, Marcy. Thanks for coming to hang out. Lovely to see you. I'll try to keep them kind of in the frame there. I don't know if you guys will be able to see them all, but that's okay. We'll work with them as we go. But yeah, what'd you guys get up to today before you came to hang out with me? Hang out with me? I guess it's hang out with me. Not past tense yet. Before you came to hang out with me, what were you guys doing today? Oh, big hugs to you, Marcy. It's always lovely to see you. Thank you for coming to hang out. Much appreciated. You're here every time. I love it. Marcy is one of the sweetest ladies. She comes and hangs out all the time. She sends lovely cards to my PO box. She's just such a lovely person. Oh, Annalisa, yeah, because here's, I don't know if you can see it, but here's the whole collection right here of all of the pencils. Don't ask me why I own them all, and I've only used them like 3 times, but there they all are. Hello, Arlene. How are you today? PA, would that be, let me test my geographical knowledge. PA. I don't know if I know what state that is. You might have to tell me. I'm sorry. I am not great with my American geography. I'll be honest. I'm not great in geography. Pennsylvania, of course it is. There's only 1 P, isn't there? I'm not great with my American geography. So, actually, honestly, I'm not superb with geography in general. It's not my my strongest suit, but I try. I always try to guess what state it is. But you were born in PA, Marcy? Where are you now? You're in, was it California, I want to say? I could be wrong. Currently snuggling with your kitty. Oh, Val, which one? Which kitty? One of the boys or my sweet girl? Arlene, you need 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, it's funny, right? Because they're supposed to be like sets on their own, right? So you get like a good color palette in each set. But I always find that I'm missing a color I want. So I have them all. I'm a little bit of a collectionist too, though. Like I have a tendency to, especially with Tim Holtz stuff, I have a tendency to want all of the colors. And it's just kind of, and then I, have to have all the colors. So yeah, I've been waiting to get the new sets. So you might just convince me. Annalisa, I don't know. It's like a set collection thing. Like to have all the collections. You don't need you don't need all of them. Let's go there. I want them all though, so that's how we're going to roll, but you don't really need them all. But there's so many colors that I love in the palette that, I always feel like I'm missing 1 or 2 when I don't have them. I'm going to move some of them off to the side because we don't need them all to do the swatches, and then we'll get into coloring some actual stamps with them. But yeah, let's see. Hello from Nova Scotia. Hello, Nova Scotia. Yeah, Canada. I'm in British Columbia, so it's always exciting when I meet up with other Canadians. That's always like such a fun thing for me, because most of the people that come and hang out on my channel are mostly American, although there's some from Europe and some from a couple of different places. But it's always fun to have another Canadian pop in, and of course, Annalisa and Val are also Canadian, so that's always really cool. You've been watching the Karen Reed trial. I don't know what that is, Cherry. You'd have to tell me about it. Sorry, I don't. This is probably going to make me sound not great, but I don't keep up on current events as a general rule because I find them to be a bit depressing. So sometimes I don't know what people are talking about when they refer to certain things. So you might have to update me a little in that. Because yeah, I don't tend to keep really up on current events. I kind of try to stay really happy, and sometimes they make me really sad. So I do tend to kind of ignore some things. But yeah. Theodore. Oh, Theodore's just, well, all your cats are sweethearts. Val adopted one of the cats that we fostered back a while ago, so it's always really exciting to hear all about what her kitties are up to. Yay, BC. Yeah, it's really fun to have Canadians come and hang out. Although I'm stoked that anybody wants to hang out. It doesn't matter where you're from at that point. It's just always kind of fun to run into other Canadians when they're kind of hanging out here. So let's start our, and you can get this from the Ranger website. I printed it out with my inkjet printer, so I do have to be a little bit careful because inkjet can run, because it's not waterproof. So I'm just going to try really hard to stay away from the lines and stay inside the boxes. If you had a laser, you'd be good, but I don't have a laser printer. I have an inkjet printer. And then this is on a watercolor cardstock, like a thicker piece of watercolor cardstock. So it is actually for watercoloring. And then I like to use the Tim Holtz detail brushes for my watercoloring, just because I find that they, have a super, super small and fine tip. So it's really easy to use them. So I tend to like that for when I actually watercolor. So when we actually get into the images, they're so small that that's like a perfect way to color with them. But yeah, so let's start our swatches, and you guys can tell me all about what's new, what's going on, what's happening. Arlene, I agree the news is depressing. Yeah, we seem to be a little bit in a society that focuses on a lot of negativity, and I try really hard to stay very positive, and I find that current events and news can really make that harder than it needs to be. So I tend to stay away from that just because, I'm trying really hard to have a positive life. So I don't need, anything kind of trying to bring that down. But then that means that sometimes I'm not up on, current events and what's going on. So sometimes I might look a little oblivious to things, but I don't know. Just I want to have a happy, fulfilling life. So, it's one of those things. So I think I'm going to put a little bit of color in each square, and then I'm going to pull it out with the watercolor pencils, kind of what I think is the easiest way to do this. So that's what I'm thinking. And then we can kind of see, so like the heaviest color will be on the left-hand side, and then I can pull it to a light color. So I might do each pan, and then we'll actually like move on to the next pan. Cherry, it's a crazy murder trial where the police were totally inept. Should never have been charged. Ooh, that's just a little bit scary, because you trust that the police know what they're doing, or at least that they're, there to help. So, I don't know. Was it interesting at least, I guess? Is that kind of something you were enjoying watching? Do you guys watch much TV? Do you like have a favorite show you enjoy watching? I've been watching, and this is kind of funny because now it's almost, but keep in mind this is a show, not like it's not true, but I've been watching Criminal Minds, which can have some pretty dark stories to it, but I like to watch it in the background while I'm working on other stuff. So a lot of the time when I'm writing pen pal letters actually is when I'm kind of watching Criminal Minds. But I'm almost done. I'm in season 14, I think, and I think there's 16 seasons altogether. And then after that, I'm not really sure what to watch. So if you have any great shows that you like to watch that are kind of entertaining, let me know. Because I'm going to need something else to watch here when I finish Criminal Minds. I got hooked on People's Court. People's Court, is that one like when people go in and they actually like bring their issues? It's real as far as I understand, right, Piggy? Like, again, I don't watch a lot of TV. I read a lot of books. That tends to be what I do, but sometimes I like stuff in the background. So that's where like Criminal Minds I kind of put on in the background while I'm doing other things. And then it's kind of nice to just have something, in the background of whatever I'm doing. Sometimes I'm fussy cutting images for cards or whatever I happen to be doing at the time, but yeah. It was a police officer that was killed. Oh, that's sad. That sounds kind of sad. Hopefully it was a good one. I don't know. I don't know what to think about whether it would be good or not. You love a good serial killer story. Oh, Cherry, what are you telling me? What are you telling me, Cherry? I'm just kidding. You know what? Apparently that's like a big thing. Like a lot of people really like true crime, like podcasts and shows and whatnot. So that's obviously like a big thing because there is quite a following there. I generally stick to more fantasized things, just because I know that people are scary, so I don't really need to encourage that thought. But yeah, but it's kind of, I don't know, all the things, right? Everybody likes something a little different, which is great. Marcy, you think that news is depressing too? Yeah, it's just sad. A lot of it's just really sad. So, or it's things people are doing to each other, and it's hard to watch, but yeah, I don't know why we got on such a sad topic. Maybe we should change the topic. I don't know. I know you're never supposed to talk. What is it? You're never supposed to talk about religion or politics. So I don't know if we're getting close to that territory, but that's one of those things. All right, so we're going to pull out the color. So this is kind of what I like to do with them. I don't do this when I watercolor. I kind of just do this when I'm, trying to like pull out the color. But you love People's Court and Judge Judy. So those are where people like take their grievances to a judge, right? And then it's like televised. Some of them, are they real or are they like made up? Sometimes I wonder. Like, is that show actually like true people's actual issues, or is it kind of just dramatized for a show. Because some of those, because it is like a reality TV show style thing, right? It's just not as reality style as some of the, like it's not as made up as some of the. I don't know. I've never really watched them. I've seen kind of like memes about Judge Judy like, yelling at people, but I've never actually seen the show. So I don't quite know what all it is. It seems a little bit dramatic, which I mean can be entertaining sometimes. My husband and I started watching Grey's Anatomy, just because I don't know. I just find it entertaining. Like I want to be entertained by drama that's not real. I don't want to be entertained by real drama in the world, like because it's sad and scary sometimes. So I get entertained by like all these doctors, and I work in healthcare. Keep that in mind, right? So, Grey's Anatomy, I just find it really funny because I've worked in the hospital in a couple of hospitals now. So Grey's Anatomy just makes me laugh, and I just love the drama in it because it's just so funny. So it just entertains the bejesus out of me. Being a person who's worked in healthcare for a long time, I just think it's really funny. but yeah. What kind of books do I read? Annalisa, I tend towards fantasy mostly, and fantasy, a little bit of romance, depending on the nature of it. I got sucked into reading the ACOTAR books because a whole bunch of people I knew were reading them. Like my mom read them, and like a couple of my coworkers had read them. So I read them like just for entertainment value. But I have learned that I'm no longer really a YA reading girly. Like I'm not really entertained by the whole YA-ness of books anymore. So I don't know if have you read any of the ACOTAR books? That's the like Court of Thorns and Roses, those books. Have you read any of those, Annalisa? Or has anybody read them? Did you enjoy them? They were super popular. I think I went into it. The problem was that so many people had like talked about them that I went into them kind of expecting something from them because so many people were talking about how great they were and how, so I went into them expecting something, which is kind of on me because I should have tried to go in with an open mind, but I went in expecting these to be like these wonderful, amazing books, and they were very YA, and of course I'm obviously not a young adult at this point. I'm like a full-fledged adult, so they were just a bit not for me. I think they weren't bad, don't make me wrong, they weren't horrible books by any stretch of the imagination. They just weren't my cup of tea. And people were saying like they're so spicy and there's all these sex scenes, and I didn't really feel like there was that much in there. So I don't know. I'm not maybe the target market for those novels, but I did read those. But yeah, so generally I stick to fantasy novels. They're generally what I like to read, and then some romance thrown in depending, but usually a fantasy of some kind. Brandon Sanderson. Oh, Cherry. Brandon Sanderson is okay. My mom and I read, what is the name of that book? Okay, we read it a couple of years ago. It's a series of books. It's like his most in-depth work. The name will come to me if I can get there. Brandon Sanderson. The books were huge and very, 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 very in depth, and there was so much going on. And I kind of thought that I was a pretty. Is that what it is? I'm sorry, Cherry, I don't remember the name of the books. I know what happens and I know the characters, but I cannot for the life of me remember the name of the series at the moment. But that is probably that's Kaladin is like the main of the first story, and then you have like Dalinar and Jasna and Shallan, and that's the book series, right? I don't remember the name of the book series at the moment. Is that the right one? Sorry, I got a little excited there for a second. The Good Doctor. Okay, I have not. Is that the one with the autistic gentleman? The Good Doctor. I think he's like all about a really young doctor who's autistic, I believe. I have seen ads for it, but I haven't watched the show. So I'll have to check that out. They're supposed to be real cases. Okay, yeah, so that's what I thought. I've never watched Judge Judy or any of that. The Good Doctor is still being made. Oh, okay, The Good Doctor is ending this year? So how many seasons did they do of The Good Doctor? because it looked really good. And I like the young actor in that one. I've seen him in a few other things, and I like him, so I have to pick that one up. Marcy, watch too much television. I don't know. It's like a hobby, I think. Like I have a lot of hobbies, and sometimes watching television is one of them because it's just kind of a fun escape. So, and I like to do it in the background of something else. Like I tend to watch television like while working on other things, so I don't pay like 100% attention to it usually. But I like it kind of like a background thing because I think that's kind of a fun way to watch it. And Lisa, you haven't read those books? Fair. They were huge for a while there. Sarah J. Maas, she has a couple of series. I'm just too old for them, I think. Just because they are very YA. Which, I mean, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with YA. I read a lot of YA when I was younger. It's just, I'm too AA now. I'm not a young adult anymore. What is your favorite book to read, Annalisa? Do you have a favorite series or a favorite genre of books that you like to read? Do you have any preference? The Resident was good. Okay, so it's Stormlight Archive. Okay. How did you feel about the third book, Cherry? I loved the first book, although I did struggle with it. Like I've always thought that I was a pretty good at reading. Like I'm pretty, I don't even know advanced, I guess. I don't know what you would call it, but I've read my whole life. I started very young with like Bernstein Bear books and those kind of books, and then we just kind of advanced from there. And my mom, when I was really young, used to read us like Terry Goodkind and that kind of novels. So I've always been very, very into reading. And when I got to that series by Brandon Sanderson, I almost thought that like I was like a beginner reader because there's so much going on. Like that world he's building is huge, and there's so many levels to it, and there's so much going on. So I was like taken aback for a minute because it was like, holy moly, like, can I not read? Like that whole world is just so involved, and it's really great, but it might not have been the best story for me to enter into Brandon Sanderson's world because he's written other stories and other novels and whatnot. And that was my first experience with him, and it was just very, very encompassing and a lot to try to wrap your mind around. So my mom and I have actually discussed that series a few times because we read it together. She's the reason I read it. Her and I kind of have like this 2-person book club, and her and I read books together, and then we like discuss them and whatnot, right? And we actually recently sat down and we're discussing it because the 4th book had come out, but we were both we struggled with the 3rd book. And so I haven't read the 4th book yet because I feel like it's been so long that I haven't read them that I would really have to go back and reread the whole series to kind of have a general idea of how, like, what's going on in the world and what's, happening and whatnot. And his series is just so heavy, and it's just, so I have not braved rereading his series yet to read the 4th book. I will eventually, because it is a really, really fascinating world, and there's so much interesting stuff going on, but it's just heavy, and so I have not gone back and like tried to reread it. But the 3rd book, tell me your thoughts on the 3rd book, Cherry. I'd really be interested to know. And hopefully I'm not ruining this series for anybody. It's a great series. It just is a really in-depth read. So if that's something that you love, that's a great series to pick up. That's all. It hit me kind of, I was like blindsided by it, but it was a lot of fun. 7 seasons of The Good Doctor. Oh, okay. So 7 seasons. That's not bad for a run. 7 seasons. Okay. I'll have to check it out because I've seen some ads for it. I just haven't actually like tried to pick it up and watch it yet. The Good Doctor, I mean. Because like I said, I'm currently just finishing up Criminal Minds, and then my husband and I are watching Grey's Anatomy, but we watch it together. So it'll probably take us forever to actually watch it because we don't have a lot of time where we can sit down and watch a show together, but it's really fun because we just do it together, right? So it's pretty cute. It's a lot of fun to do together. So I'll have to check out The Good Doctor. I'll see if he wants to watch it because, of course, I don't watch shows that he would like to see. So we kind of save them. We watched all of The Good Place. Have you guys ever seen The Good Place? I think it's on Netflix. We watched all of The Good Place together, my husband and I, and Yeah, it's a really cute series. That was a really fun show to watch. And I'm a fan of, Ted Danson and like a bunch of the characters that are in it. So it was really kind of a fun watch. I had a lot of fun with that. And then I think we've also watched all of what was that? How I Met Your Mother. We watched all of that one. That was back, when we weren't working quite as much as we do now, but it was a lot of fun too. Annalisa, you haven't been reading too much fiction lately? Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you do homeschool programs, so it makes sense that you're working so much with your kids and they're reading stuff. And I mean, it's hard to pick a favorite. There's so many phenomenal books out there, like, or series, either way. Like, how do you even, although I don't tend to read one-offs anymore. I tend to only pick up series because I love being immersed in a world. And I want more than one book with a person, like a character. Unless I don't like them, then I guess that's different. But it's pretty rare that I don't enjoy a series. Just because I love to read series books. That's kind of my preference. Do you guys have a preference? Do you like one-off books or do you prefer series of books? I just find that I get way more into the series or the story if there's more coming, like, because I get so much more into the story and the world that they're building and these people's lives and whatnot. So I prefer a series to a one-off book. But I mean, there's no right or wrong, just whatever you prefer. Just catching up on my stuff here. A lot of Nicholas Sparks books. Yeah, Nicholas Sparks. I've actually never read a Nicholas Sparks book, but didn't she wrote the book that was The Notebook, wasn't it? I think that she wrote that. Didn't she? She wrote a few that were turned into novel or movies, sorry. I believe that was one of the ones she wrote. Is Nicholas Sparks a girl or a boy? Sorry, I haven't, Nicholas, maybe it's a boy. I haven't read any of the books, because they're more romance, and I tend towards more fantasy as a general rule, but I've heard really good things, and I know that some of them were adapted to movies, and the movies were like, The Notebook's a beautiful, beautiful story. So, Walk to Remember is one of my favorites. Yes, Val, I was going to say, I know there's another one that I've watched, the Walk to Remember, and just because I like the characters in there too, so that makes it a lot easier, but A Walk to Remember was a beautiful movie, so I assume the book was really good too, although I have not personally read it. I'm assuming Nicholas is a boy, not a girl, so Nicholas Sparks. But beautiful romance stories in there. I should read those books, actually, because I love the movies, so. The third one, The Wild Robot. Sorry, I'm just catching up on a comment here. A book I read with my kids over the last few years, too, that we need to read is the third one, The Wild Robot. It's doing a movie based on the first book. Sorry, what was the series, Annalisa, that you're referring to with The Wild Robot? DreamWorks makes beautiful movies. Like, I don't care that I'm an adult. I love the animated movies that DreamWorks and Disney make. Like, I love them so much. See, that's where it's funny, because I'm like, I don't want to read YA books anymore because I'm too old. And then I'm like, oh, Disney movies. Like, I don't know. I guess my tastes are just varied. It's just kind of funny. But yeah, definitely a series person. Yeah, me too, Cherry. For the same reasons that I just stated. Is that why you like series? I prefer series personally. One-off books always feel like they need to cram way too much stuff in too quickly for me to get into the series or the book, because they only have one book to tell me all the story, right? Whereas in a series, you get to kind of have, it's just a little more developed, I find. Not that there aren't amazing authors that write one-offs. It's just that my preference is. The last song, The Vow, and more tended movie. Okay, I thought have I seen The Vow? Is The Vow the one with Channing Tatum, and like the woman forgets? She forgets that they're like married and together or whatever. Is that The Vow? You might have to remind me what movie that was. I think that's that one, isn't it? I could be wrong though. All right, Cherry, you have a great night. Thanks for jumping in and hanging out. Sorry I didn't actually paint anything or color anything yet. I just thought that it would be good to have a swatch of all the colors so I could see what I was working with when we actually went to color. But I really appreciate you coming to hang out. So thank you very much, and we will see you next time. Have a great sleep, Sherry. It's called The Wild Robot, in a series of 3 books. Okay, I haven't heard of that one. I'll have to. Well, I guess I'll wait until DreamWorks makes it into a movie. I'm gonna have to refill my pen. It's almost empty. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of that. Although I guess if it's for children, I may not have heard of it regardless, because we don't have any children, of course. So, do your kids really like it, Annalisa? It sounds like a pretty fun story. Channing Tatum is The Vow. Yeah, I thought that was based on a real story, though. The Vow. I thought that it was based on because they're in a car accident, right? And then she forgets, she loses her memory. I think. I haven't seen it in a while, but I'm pretty sure if that's what happens, it's Channing Tatum's the male lead, and what's her nut from The Notebook is the female lead. I just blanked on her name. And they're in a car accident. They're in a marriage, and they're in a car accident, and she forgets who he is. And she her memory reverts for 2 years or 3 years ago or something, and he works to make her fall in love with him again. Sorry if you can hear that loud truck that just drove by. I think that's the story we're talking about. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the one we're talking about. So are you guys working on anything while we do this? Anybody else gonna watercolor while I play with the watercolors? I guess I call them watercolors, but they're watercolor pencils. But I mean, I feel like I use them the same way, because I would just use a pan of color like this too. So I don't think there's any wrong way to use them. I just love his palette. Is anybody else hoping Tim Holtz comes out with a few more colors? I don't know. I mean, it's funny because he's like, I brought out a full palette, and I'm like, but I want some more. Can you bring me some more, sir? I would like some more colors. There's a few I wish that were... Okay, again, we all know that purple's my favorite color. There's no, question there. You guys know that purple's my favorite color. I do, and you'll see when we get to the purples what I'm talking about, but I do wish there was at least one more purple in between the colors, because I tried to do a blend, and Val can attest to this because she took my class. There was, I feel like there's kind of a stopgap in the purples a little bit. And I don't know if it'll come up in the pencils as much, but I find that there's just a little bit of a gap between the colors, and I wish there was a little bit more, a way to kind of make them a little more consistent. You'll see here in a minute when I get to the purples. No, I have a little ways to go to the purples yet, but... But my purple blend is not as seamless as I would like it to be in my oxide, so I feel like I'm almost missing a color, and I'm not sure how to... I haven't quite figured out what blend would work better yet, so I'm working on that in the purple. So then I'm like, well, if he just brought out one more purple, we would be there. Did you see that he did his, I just blanked. Tim Holtz has a live on Saturday, and he's doing the Ideology. There we go. I forgot the name of that collection for a second. He's doing the Ideology release, and there's always so much cool stuff in the Ideology stuff. So I'm kind of excited to see all the stuff and all the makes and stuff. Oh, so excited, because I really like the Ideology releases, because I really want to do a 3D project. I don't know if we'll do it live or I'll do it as a video. I'm not sure yet, but I really want to do a 3D project. And so, him bringing out all this 3D stuff, I love watching it come together. And I love seeing the makes that his team makes, because they're so creative. His team is phenomenal. So I really cannot wait to see what all he does in the Ideology. I mean, all the stuff's out. I just want to see the makes. Okay. There's never enough purples. There you go. You're going to reread them? Heck yeah. Can you reread the Nicholas Sparks books and then tell me if they're any good and which ones I should read? Because I do tend towards fantasy, not romance as much. But, I mean, a good romance book is never bad. You're rewatching The Crown. Is it any good, Val? I've never watched The Crown. I've seen snippets of it because I know that it's available. Like I've seen the trailer, I think, but I've never actually watched the show. So is it worth a watch? You'll have to let me know. Is it quite enjoyable? It's more of a drama though, right? Like there's not much humor and whatnot in it. It's more, because it's based on the Queen's, like different segments of the Queen's life. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't seen it. But I think that's kind of like the premise, right? Have you guys watched Bridgerton? Because I know season 3 is about to come out. And after season 1 dropped, and of course, this was now like a couple years ago. When season 1 dropped, I watched season 1 because, it was so popular and I wanted to see what it was all about. And I was talking about it at work, I remember, and this is when I still worked at the hospital and not in the clinic because now I'm in a clinic. I was at the hospital and I was talking to my one coworker about it and she called it porn. And I laughed so hard because she's like, yeah, no, we shouldn't be watching that porn. And I laughed so hard. And she was talking about Bridgerton season 1. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, that's one thing to call it. Sure, why not? And I just laughed so hard. We were at work. It was a night shift, and it was pretty funny. I never really thought about it like that because I've read books with, quite a bit of. They could have sex scenes in them, and if it makes sense, it doesn't bother me, But yeah, it was really funny to have her refer to it as that. Like, oh yeah, I'm watching that porn. Okay. Watch my channel get demonetized because I'm talking about sex. I'm talking about it in books, but yeah, it was pretty funny. There are never enough purples, Annalisa. I 100% agree. I want all the purples. I just want so many more shades of purple. I don't know. I love purple so much. I like a lot of colors. Purple's not the only one, but I quite like purple. Why do you not seem to have any water? Let's try that again. I don't want too much water because then it's just but I need some water. That's better. Hard to watercolor it out if there ain't no water. I want to make something with all the ideology stuff I have. Yeah, Peggy, I'm with you. I kind of I've started collecting ideology stuff and then I'm like, what are you going to make? Because I try really hard to use the things that I buy because, we're not made of money. So I do try to, be conscientious that I need to use these things as well. And so I've kind of got this little ideology collection going on, but I haven't actually made anything with it. So that is one of my goals for this year is I really want to make a 3D project with some ideology stuff. Just to be like, okay, so I did it. See, I'm not just collecting things because I can. I'm going to have to put more water in this. I think that's the problem. Starting to run out of water in the barrel, so it's not really interested in feeding me the water. Season 3 is about to come out for Bridgerton. Yeah, Marcy. Oh, Marcy, you don't watch too much TV. It's okay. I mean, if that's your hobby, why not? It's not a bad hobby to have. As long as you're being entertained and it's not making you unhappy. I do find some shows, they can be so dramatic and it's just, I don't know, then I'm kind of like, oh. It feeds drama into people's lives. But if you're entertained, why not? It sounds like a good hobby to have. I'm okay with it. Yeah, season 3 is coming out. Yeah, because season 3 is, I haven't watched season 2 of Bridgerton yet. Although I know who gets together. I know who the story's about, but I haven't actually watched season 2. But season 3 is interesting because I really like Penelope. So I can't wait to see her transformation. So I have to go and watch season 2 so that I can watch season 3. I'm watching 2 other shows, so I'm like a person who doesn't like to watch 16 different things at the same time. I like to, if I'm reading a series of books, I don't read other books. I read the full series and then I read whatever the next series happens to be, right? That I pick up. I don't tend to jump around a lot just because I like to, I'm in the world in my mind, so I don't want to have to jump out of the world and do something else. So I tend to kind of stick to one. And so I'm already watching 2 TV shows, so I'm like, I'm good until I finish those 2, then I'll pick up something else. But I need all the teals. Teals are also stunning. I do find that he has a lot more blues in the palette than other colors, though. Like, this whole tray is shades of blue. Right? And then there's some even still, like, he has, excuse me, he has a lot of blues in the palette, I feel like. So I'm always kind of like, we don't need no more of that. Like, we need more purple. There's like 4 purples. Wow. I mean, technically, if you count milled lavender, which lavender, there's... See, I don't know if Victorian Velvet doesn't feel purple to me, but it's in the purples, so we'll go with that. So there's technically 6 purples, although I feel like there isn't. And then there's like, what is there, 12 colors per tray? So there's like 15 blues. So I'm kind of like, I feel like we need some more purples. And there's a fair amount of greens too, because I mean, technically, like, Shabby Shutters starts your greens. So, like, I feel like there's a lot of greens too. And there's like 3 purples. Well, you know what, there's like 6 purples, but. Oh no, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Sorry, I tried to cover the microphone so that wouldn't be loud. I hope it wasn't super loud. Oh, excuse me. But I feel like he could have more purples. Well, exactly, right, Peggy? Like, the blue, well, here's your blues. Like, up to right there, because there's 3 blues in this one. These are all blue. Though there's difference in the blues, but like there's a lot of blues. I feel like that's kind of the color he has the most of. And then, well, see, he doesn't even have that many browns comparatively. Oh, I might have to blow my nose. I'm trying not to sneeze at you guys again. Salvage Patina has to be one of my favorite colors. This tray has some of my favorite colors. Because Salvage Patina, Peacock Feathers, and Tumbled Glass are probably my favorite blue, green, teals, like in that color family. Let me see if I can catch up on that. I have cat hair trying to go on my face. It's going to be Christmas, and the base will be a big slice of wood from a grapefruit tree that is in my parents' yard for 50 years. Peggy, that's cool. I am excited to see it. I hope you'll send me a message so I can see it when you make it, because that sounds phenomenal. Wood slices are just such a cool base. Cat hair. I mean, not surprising considering, but there we go. If you haven't seen Queen Charlotte, I haven't watched Queen Charlotte, Val. That's one thing I would like to watch. I've heard that they're not theoretically making more. Just because it was supposed to be like a one-off, just to give you some background on the Queen. But I've heard it's really good, so it's on my list of things to watch eventually. It's just one of those things that, like, I only have so much time. There is a cat hair trying to go on my nose. Stop that. I don't know if you guys can see, but of course Ember is sleeping behind me. I think you can see her. Can you see her? I can't really tell from the... I think you can see her. She's got her back to me at the moment. She's sleeping behind me. And then Mist is underneath that desk. And I don't know where the other 2 are at the moment. But they're all here somewhere. They pretty much always are. But I mean, the one I'm doing now is pretty much, it's all blues. Like all shades of blue. So there's like, it just feels like there's a lot of blues. I mean, not that that's a bad thing, I guess. There can't be wrong with colors. I want more purple. If it was up to me, there would be more shades of purple. But that's just my opinion. What are you guys talking about here? Let's see. TV is Great Escape. Yeah, what is your favorite comedy show, Marcy? Do you have a preference? I see you said you couldn't watch The Good Place. The Good Place takes a couple of episodes to kind of get in. You kind of have to give it a little bit of a chance, and then it gets really good. Because they're setting up like this whole world and story, right? So you kind of have to... You have to kind of give it a chance kind of grow, but it gets really good if you kind of stick it out. I mean, you may not enjoy it. It's totally personal preference, but I found it to be really, really enjoyable. So it was a lot of fun to watch. The music in Bridgerton, yeah, because they make like super popular songs into like orchestra numbers. Like it's just so cool. The music in Bridgerton is definitely like one of the best, and period costumes. Like I love the dresses. They're so pretty. I don't want to wear them. They look really restrictive, but they're so pretty. So pretty. Have you read any of the books? Has anybody read the Bridgerton books that the series is based on? I've never read it, so I don't know how accurate they are to the books. I know that they're not accurate in nationalities of the series, but other than that, I don't know how like accurate the storylines are of this series. Because I know in the books everybody's British because it's a period piece. So, but the show has gone a lot more diverse, which is really awesome to see. The blues look the same. Do they look the same to you, Peggy? Even when I'm swatching them, or just you mean like in the color palette, like kind of on here? Do they look the same while swatching? Hopefully not. Hopefully you can kind of see a difference. But there are a lot of blues, I feel. I mean, you can't go wrong with color. I like color. Just, I don't know. There's some that I don't even think I've ever used because there's something that I like that's close. Like Peacock Feathers is one of my favorite blues, so I use it a lot. Although I guess it's kind of more of a teal than a blue. I don't think I've ever used Uncharted Mariner, although that one's new. I don't think I've ever used it for anything. Because it's a very, very vibrant dark blue, right? I don't think I've ever used it. But it's very pretty. Oh, my nose. I'm going to sneeze again, I think. Stop it. Young Sheldon is good. I've never watched Young Sheldon. I haven't seen all of Big Bang Theory either. And have you seen all of Big Bang Theory, Marcy? I've watched like episodes. Like an episode would come on or something and I like might sit there and watch it, but I've never watched it in order. So I don't know. It seems like a pretty good show that's worth watching, though. But Young Sheldon, I haven't seen any of that one. I know it exists, but I haven't actually seen it. I mostly just watch. I'm with you, actually. A lot of what I watch in my spare time is like art-based or drawing or, new card design so I can sit down and come up with something else to kind of do for the channel or... that kind of stuff. So when I have spare time, it's usually spent watching stuff related to the little business that I'm trying to make. So it'll be a lot of like art-based stuff or small business-based stuff or, like drawing stuff or that kind of stuff. I don't watch a lot of stuff for recreation generally. But when I do, I try to make it something that's really, really interesting and funny or dramatic, like Grey's Anatomy, just because I think the hospital setting is funny, just because I work in it. All of Big Bang Theory. Was it good? Is it worth watching? All of Big Bang Theory? Peggy, you just started watching Big Bang Theory. Who's your favorite character? Do you guys have one? Like, because the whole group of them are pretty hilarious, but do you have a favorite? I think that my favorite relationship, though I haven't watched the whole one, so I'd have to sit down and watch the whole show. I think my favorite relationship is Peggy and Sheldon. I know they're not together. I mean, like in a friendship sense. Their friendship just seems so genuine and like beautiful as the show goes on. Because I've seen random episodes from different seasons, so I've kind of seen it grow, just not consecutively. But Penny, yeah, she's funny. Oh, she's such a cool character. Yeah, that show seems pretty good. I'm going to have to watch it, I think. Just because it's so funny. Virgin River. I've watched Virgin River, actually, Annalisa. That is a show I have watched. Not the newest season, but the first... I don't know what season it's in, 3 or 4, I think. I've watched the first 2. And then I just haven't gone back. And then another one I've watched on Netflix, I think, is Sweet Magnolias. I think that's on Netflix. And I've watched that, but again, not the newest season. I think I've only seen the first 2 seasons, I think. because then they like stop to do the next season, right? And I haven't gone back yet because I kind of wait until I have some spare time to watch. Like, because I kind of like to binge a couple of episodes at a time when I actually have time. So I have to actually have some time to sit down and watch it. All right, we're almost done the color swatches. We only have one tray left after this, but here we're going to get the purples. So here are my purples after this one. This is still blue. See, I'm going to have to go blow my nose, I think. But so like milled lavender is technically a purple, though I almost kind of feel like it isn't, but we'll go with it. And then Victorian Velvet's in with the purples, but to me, that's not purple. And then Seedless Preserves is a purple, but it's a very red purple. And then you go into Shaded Lilac, which is almost, again, a blue. Right? So it's like, I don't know. The only purples that feel purple to me are like Wilted Violet. Wilted Violet, Seedless Preserves, and Milled Lavender, depending on what you put it with. Dusty Concord and Villainous Potion. Right? Like, because this is the purples. So obviously you get the better pigment when we actually go and pull out the color, but yeah, like Victorian Velvet doesn't feel purple to me. It feels like it should almost be with the pinks more than the purple, because it feels like a dusty rose color. So then to me that means that it should be with the pinks, not the purples. Okay, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to go and just deal with my nose here. One sec, I'll be right back. I mean, you can still hear me because the microphone's with me. I'm not gonna blow my nose at you, but I am gonna. See if I can stop myself from sneezing again. Whew. I should probably just blow my nose. It probably would fix the problem, but I don't want to blow my nose while I'm wearing a microphone. Okay, but those are the purples, right? So I feel like, whoop. There we go. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. You guys tell me. Does Victorian Velvet feel like a purple to you? I kind of feel like it doesn't, but maybe that's just me. Obviously, Tim Holtz thinks that it does, because that's where he's put it in the whole lineup. I just feel like it's more of a... Like, I feel like it should almost be, like, in here somewhere. But I don't get to pick, so that's okay. Okay, where are we at? Oh, Sweet Magnolias was pretty good, too. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty cute show. Like, it's just like a family fun. Like, I just thought Sweet Magnolias is just kind of a beautiful show to watch in your spare time. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Gilmore Girls, but not the same, because Gilmore Girls has a mom-daughter dynamic, but it just kind of reminded me of that style of show. Too many shows to remember. Yeah, there's a lot of shows. I mean, Netflix wants you to go and binge all the stuff, or Disney, whomever. For those of you who like Disney, what's your favorite movie? Just out of curiosity. Do you have a favorite movie? Could you pick one? I don't know if I could pick just one. There's a couple that I'm pretty fond of. But if you had to pick one, could you? Yeah, see, I don't know. Victorian Velvet just doesn't feel purple to me. That just feels very pink. Like, it feels like it belongs up with, like, aged mahogany. I don't know. But then you get into what feels like an actual more of a purple. Although, like I said, a very reddy purple. That has to be one of my favorite colors. I just love watching it come out because it like gives you such a beautiful color. And then Shaded Lilac just feels very blue again. Like I know that lilac is a generally like a purpley blue, but to me it feels blue. Like this is where I'm talking like, doesn't it feel like there's kind of a divide in the colors? Like some of them go together so seamlessly. Like your pinks, they're so seamless. And then you hit the purples and they're not very seamless. Like they don't have, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'm hoping if he does more colors, he does more purples. That's just my thought. You couldn't pick a Disney movie, Annalisa? Just one? Can you pick me like a top 5? Like I know it's hard to pick a favorite because there's so many great ones out there. It goes for anything, like shows, whatever. Like it's not just specific to Disney. Like it's hard to pick. Okay, antique linen is such a light color. Although some of them are, like you can barely see the pinks too. I mean, I can see them, but I don't think you guys probably can. Robin Hood. Aww. Is that the one with the foxes? Like that animated? I think that's the Disney one. Hey, I haven't seen it in so long. But I'm pretty sure it had, like Maid Marian and Robin Hood were fox. Because it was all animals. That's the right one, right? I haven't seen that in so long. All right, we're on the winning stretch. Last set of colors, and then we'll actually get into stamping and coloring some things. But this at least gives me a better idea of what I want to pick for colors, because otherwise I'm kind of just guessing. Because some of them I've never used, right? So I don't even know. I mean, Tim Holtz says that his favorite color is the browns, but I almost feel like it must be blues. Just based on the color palette, not based on anything else. Or maybe somebody he works with just really likes blues. Right? Like Victorian Velvet, I don't know, it just looks very pink to me. I feel like it's not where it belongs in the palette. But that's just me. And maybe it's just this color swatch too. Although I've used the ink and the ink feels kind of pink as well. Because it just feels like a dusty rose to me, which would put it, you know, up in the pink swatches. But I don't know. That's just my opinion, I guess. Okay, well, I'm not going to swatch Picket Fence because Picket Fence is white. And it's like, it's not going to show. Well, I guess I can put a color down, but you're not going to be able to see it because it's white. So there, it's there, but it's not really visible. But we're winning. So what do you guys think we should pick for colors? I was thinking that the tape might be fun as browns because I generally don't use browns. They're generally not the colors that I lean to. But, I mean, I think they'd be kind of fun in the sense of the washi tape, like the aged washi tape going over. But I wanted to stamp out the images when we get this finished. And I'm going to pick up the Simon Says Stamp matching dies for these because I think they'd be a lot of fun. I don't think I have Victorian Velvet. Yeah, Victorian Velvet's really pretty. I just don't think it belongs with purples. But I did a card with it pretty recently. It was the magnolia flowers, and I used Victorian Velvet in the center to add a little color to them, and it's really quite pretty. If you want like a dusty rose, it's really pretty. And of course, you know, I have all the colors because that's how I roll, apparently. because I have all of the colors in the Distress Oxides and the inks and the pencils. I don't have them in the pencil crayons, or the crayons, though. I only have a couple crayons, because I don't tend to use them. But I want to get into mixed media a bit more, so then I'm like, well, you have a couple. Like, I'd love to do an art journal series. Oh, see, now I touched the word. Shoot. So it's going to bleed into my color a little bit. Stick that on your list. You only have 35 distress colors. And what do you have them in, Peggy? Do you have them in oxides or inks, or what medium do you like them in? I don't have all the sprays either, though I have some. But the sprays, I've kind of collected the colors that I really like. So like the rainbow, the vibrant ones. I tend towards those. Those are my more used color palette. As you guys know, I like bright colors. We're almost there. And we can stamp some stuff. Oh, shadow is pretty. Okay, one more. Well, two technically, but I'm like, I'm not going to touch the white one. It's there. You can't see it because it's on white paper. Okay, so I'm going to have this in front of me, so it'll help me pick my colors. But there's the full color swatch. Do you guys have a favorite color? Does any of the colors like stick out to you specifically? But like, I don't know how well you guys can see like Spun Sugar and Clutch Flamingo because they're so light. Dried Marigold's another one that's really light. Tumbled Glass. Like some of them are just really light and you can almost not see them. So, but that is the color swatch. So we are done that part. That's pretty fun. Now we're going to stamp out some images. So we'll keep that just off to the side. And then we're going to stamp these bad boys. I think I'm going to stamp them all on one sheet. We're just using a acrylic block. I think that's probably just the easiest. And I don't prime my stamps first. You probably should. I don't. I just figure I get whatever I get for a stamp and I'm okay with it. But you could prep them. And I'm going to do a black outline because I'm going to use my VersaFine because it's water safe. Although I might quickly heat set them just to be careful. And I want to leave a little distance around them because, like I said, I want to be able to die cut them with the Simon Says Stamps die. So I figured we would color them all and then we would just kind of leave it. And if we have time, we could color them maybe in a color palette that I wouldn't usually pick. Although, if we're going to color them all, maybe that'll be what we do today. Do you guys have any thoughts on what we should do for our next live? Does anybody have any opinions? What you'd like to see done? You only have 10 oxides. Yeah, I could do that, Annalisa. Put like a black square with the white swatches. That is actually a pretty good idea. I'm not going to do that right now, but I could do it. Have you used the new stamp set already, Arlene? This is my first time using it, so I actually have to like pull the stamps out of the weeded or the extra rubber. Oh, this block's not. I don't know if I have a big enough block for you. Oh, actually I do. I have this one. I just have like a weird mishmash of blocks, because I don't use them super often, but every once in a while they come in super useful. Leave enough room so we can die cut it at another day. Not today because I don't have the dies, sadly. But soon. I'm pondering if I want the other stamp set that Tim Holtz just did, the one with like the typewriter and what the numbers and whatever. I have it on hold, but it's like 50 Canadian dollars. So it's just a very expensive stamp set. I'll probably cave and get it, but it's just, she's a little pricey. I mean, they're good quality, so you can't go wrong. It's just, it's one of those things. So I have it set aside and on hold. I just have not gone and picked it up quite yet. Yeah, you and me both, Arlene. I love Tim Holtz stuff so much. Like they're always just such a fun collection of products that he comes out with. Like his mind is just, he sees stuff and just the way he sees it used is always so phenomenal. And then his makers are just, they sell me on things like all the time. I'm like, oh, I don't need that. And then I see the makers make something and I'm like, oh, I need that. Better pick up more shifts at work so I can buy all the things. It's kind of funny. All right, you can go there. Okay. Yeah, I might need to heat set this because I think it takes a few minutes for the VersaFine to dry and I don't want to go and put water over it and have it. It's just, it is water safe, the ink, but I think it's going to. Did I, Annalisa? Not intentionally. I just love his stuff so much. And then it's funny because is anybody in here like super into Lawn Fawn? Lawn Fawn just did a release day before yesterday, just this week, I think. And they have some ridiculously cute stuff. Like I love, his stuff is so, I don't know, there's just so different, right? Like his stuff and then like Lawn Fawn stuff. They just give me such a different mood. And then Pink Fresh stuff. Like, I don't know. There's so many phenomenal. Honeybee does phenomenal stuff. There's so many great companies out there. Me too, Arlene. I would love to meet Tim Holtz one day. He doesn't seem to do the stuff quite as much as he used to, like going to the shows and whatnot. And of course, I'm Canadian, so it's more difficult for me to go to the States and like pay to stay and get a hotel and fly and all that stuff. It's quite pricey. So I don't know if that's ever really going to happen, but it is like, it would be amazing to get to meet Tim Holtz one day just because he's such an inspiration. Him and his makers, like, they're just such an inspiration. And Ranger and all the companies that like make his products and stuff, like Stampers Anonymous. What a cool company to like not ever expire his stamp sets. You know, because that's probably one of the most frustrating things I think as a crafty person is like you buy something and they're not inexpensive, you know, and then they're expired. Like some companies expire their stuff so quickly that I'm like, but I just got it. Like if it ships from the States or I work with my local company, my little scrapbook store, and they bring stuff in for me, but sometimes it has to come from the States and it takes so long to get here and then like the company's expiring it. And it's like, but I just got it though. What do you mean it's expired? Like what? Wait, what? Right? Like, so I love that Stampers Anonymous never expires their stamp sets. Like that's just so flippin' cool. You just met him? Oh, that's so exciting. I'm sorry, Crafty, I don't know what your first name is, but or what you like to be called. That's really, was he as cool in person as I think he would be? He just seems like he'd be a really humble, kind person. Him and Mario, like they just seem like they'd both be super, super lovely people to meet. I mean, most of the crafty industry, like the people in it are just phenomenal. Like you can't really go wrong. Like they all seem to be pretty great people. But wow, that's pretty amazing you got to meet Tim Holtz this weekend. How was the Simon Says Stamp event? Like, that seems like that would be a lot of fun. Heidi seems like she'd be a pretty cool person too to hang out with in person. Like, she seems lovely. Sadly, again, a lot of these events are in the States, so I'd have to fly and get a hotel and, you know, all of the things, and it's just not very cost effective for me at this time with the exchange rate being what it is. So, one day. Me too, Peggy. I love that Simon's making die sets for Tim's stamps. Again, exchange rate and, you know, all of the things, but it's really cool that they're doing that. I mean, I don't mind fussy cutting, but it is nice to have the dies because, I mean, especially for stamps that never stop being made. Like, that's a totally good investment, in my opinion, right? Because, like, the Stampers Anonymous dies or stamps never go anywhere, so you can use them forever and they will still, you know, be there. So I like love that. Yeah, Lawn Fawn. I don't know. Lawn Fawn stuff is super cute. Like, I know that's their aesthetic. That's like their intention. But like, they hit the nail on the head with that. Like, their stuff is so cute. I just got assigned my design team product for my next design team. If you guys don't know, I design for scrapbookpal.com. And lovely, lovely. Tanya is the owner. She's lovely. And I just got my design team stuff for the next project that I get to make, and it's Lawn Fawn from the new release. So like, I'm really excited, and it's like a light up, and it's the mason jar and some bugs that go in the mason jar. Like, it's so pretty and so fun, and I'm really excited to play with it. So that's really exciting for me. I'm looking forward to it. Because Lawn Fawn stuff is just so adorable. It just, I don't know, it fills a different need. Like, Tim Holtz stuff is like eclectic and unique and really, really interesting. And then Lawn Fawn stuff is just super cute and adorable and a lot of fun. So they fill different needs in my like crafty brain. Like, I love it. I love that different companies are bringing different things. Like, that just makes me so happy. Congratulations. What am I being congratulated on? But thank you. I don't know what I'm being congratulated for, but thank you very much, Arlene. Very kind of you. I don't want to put that there because I'm not going to be able to die cut that. Maybe we'll put you down here. There. You live in Ohio, so it's only 2 hours drive. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, to design for a company, you mean? Well, thank you, Arlene. I've been on the Scrapbook Pal design team for 7 months this time so far. It's a year of designing, and I was on it 2 years ago as well. But thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. I just finished a card for them. It goes up on their channel Monday of next week. The 20th? Yeah, the 20th. So that'll go up on the 20th. And then I can show you the card. It's right here. This is the card I made for their channel. I was working with some honeybee products. So I made this super cute birthday card. It was actually for they have a vintage box that this stamp set belongs to, but I just picked out one small stamp and made a whole card design based on it. And yeah, so this is my project I have going up on their channel on Monday. So that's pretty fun. And I can sneak peek you guys the card that I'm doing on Monday. This is the card that goes up on my channel on Monday. It's if you guys know Kendra, my friend Kendra, she runs the she like has a whole thing with pattern paper. This is the card that goes up on my channel on Monday. You guys know I don't work with pattern paper very often, so that's pretty exciting. I wonder if I can actually fit these or if I should just grab a different. I want to be able to die cut these later, so I'm trying to leave a little room, but then that kind of... Thank you. Thank you guys so much. You guys are always so lovely. I think we'll put these last two on this one because I want to be able to die cut them eventually. So eventually when I get that Simon Says Stamp die set. Thank you so much for your kind words, guys. That's really appreciated. Bam. So yeah, you got to meet Heidi and Tim Holtz the same weekend. Is Crafty? Is your name Amron? Because or Amy RN. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, so you'll have to let me know. But I mean, I can call you Crafty if you prefer. That doesn't matter to me. Thank you so much, Arlene. Thank you, Val. Thank you, Peggy. You guys are all so sweet. But I try. You guys know I'm trying to like use different things because I tend to. I don't think that I'm stuck, but I tend to use the same techniques and the same colors and the same whatever. So with the scrapbookpal.com video, I tried really hard to take one small stamp and make a whole card out of it. So that was kind of like the premise to that card. So I can show you the stamp set. So like this, I guess I used 3 stamps because of sentiment, but this is the honeybee stamp set that I used. So I was trying really hard to use, one small image and build my whole card around it. So that's what I did. Using, of course, like my favorite oxide inks and whatever. But, so I get a stamp set and then I have to figure out how to do something with it, right? That's the whole idea of a design team. But I think it turned out pretty cute. I'm pretty happy with it. It's vibrant, which you guys know I love. Hello, Amy. Nice to meet you. I wondered because I wasn't sure if it was like Amy RN or Amrin could be a beautiful name. But yeah, okay, here we go. Are you leaving? Oh, Mist is out of here. But that sounds phenomenal, Amy. I bet you had a blast. Yeah, I would love to go to one of Simon's events one day, but we'll see if I can ever make that kind of cost effective, just because I'd have to fly and I'd have to, or drive, whichever, and then I'd have to stay in a hotel and I'd have to, you know, how do you pack your crafty goodies to go and kind of play to do that? Like, so one day, maybe. That's the hope. I would love to get to meet Tim Holtz and go and hang out. That would be a lot of fun. All right, so I think we'll start with this guy. Do you guys have any colors in mind? What are you thinking? Because here's our color swatch. So we can use any of the above colors, or any of the colors. Because you know that I will tend towards pinks and purples, because that's just how I roll. I thought it might be kind of fun to bring in like maybe vintage photo or something for some of the tape to give it like a really vintage feel. But we could use a different color too. Antique linen might be kind of an interesting color for that. I mean, there's so many colors. What do we choose? So we can move that over, move you out for a second, and just have the swatches here so we can kind of have an idea. And then I am just going to quickly heat set this just because I don't want the black to bleed. So sorry if this is a little bit loud. Hopefully it's not too loud. And I just want a chance to heat set before we add anything to them. I like this one with the 2 pieces of tape. I think that's the only one that has 2 pieces of tape. I love that. That's so cool. I thought these would be really fun to add on to like pen pal letters. You guys know that I love to do pen pal stuff. I thought these would be really fun to add on to that. Once I, you know, die cut them. I could fussy cut them, I guess. All right, what are we thinking? Which one should we start with? Maybe this kind of fun little guy here. I think I'm going to start with the fun little guy, and I'm going to pick colors that I would normally be drawn to. So, what are we thinking? I'm thinking, I don't know, you guys tell me. Oh, Annalisa, you do need to craft again. I don't know if I could not. Like, I know that you have, like, you've got some cleaning stuff and whatever going on, but, like, I don't know if I could not craft. Like, I just, oh, it's, like, such a, I don't know, it's all the things. It's an escape, and it's a creative outlet, and it's just fun. I don't know if I could not create for a time. I guess if I was struggling, that might be. I mean, I have had, like, times where I struggled to create. All right, let's have a look. I'm going to unstack my palette here. I'm thinking pink for the fleurs. And maybe a light wash of sponge sugar with a little bit of picked raspberry. That's what I'm thinking. If you guys have an opinion on a color we should use, you let me know. 4th of July cards. Do you send 4th of July cards? That's lovely, Peggy. Do you make them like red, white, and blue? Is that kind of like the color palette you choose? Or do you play with it, whatever color palette kind of tickles your pickle at the time? Do you have a preference? Yeah, red, white, and blue. Makes sense. I mean, that's American colors for sure. I don't think I've ever made a Canada Day card that I can think of, because ours, of course, is July 1st. I don't think I've made one. I mean, you could. It'd be really pretty, but I don't think I've ever done it. Because it would be red and white, I guess. Oh, are you coming up? Okay. Here you go. Come on. I made you a spot. I think Mist is going to join us here in a second when she does. Yep, there she is. She has to decide that she's going to join us first. I don't know how well you guys can see. Well, No, you should probably be able to see her because she's standing on top of my pencils. Hi! Are you going to be super helpful? I feel like you're not, but I appreciate you all the same. Hi! Can you not stand in the wet paint though? Yeah, we don't need you to have pink toes. Well, she has pink toes, but... Excuse me, ma'am. Can you just like sit over there for a sec? She's gonna hit me in the face with her tail. So this is how I like to use a pencil. I know it's not really like, you could make a palette. I've seen people make palettes. But I kind of like take the color off of the pencil and then like add it where I want it. Especially for something like this because the images are so small that it would be a little harder. I mean, if you were doing a bigger image, this would take a while. But I kind of like to just pull the color like that. That's kind of my preference. And then I want to add just a little bit of green with the greenery, and then we can work on the tape. Oddly enough, this one almost looks like the tape's behind the flower. I'm not going to paint it that way, but that's how it looks. All right, what green should I pick? Maybe some mowed lawn. I like mowed lawn. Are you mowed lawn? You are mowed lawn. A little bit of mowed lawn. Yeah, you're a very busy lady. With that many children, I couldn't even... Oh, Annalisa, I could see where you have not a lot of spare time to get extra stuff done. She's like, Mom, you're not paying attention to me. I know she does this. Usually when I'm making videos or whatever, I'm sitting here crafting, she'll like jump up and sit right in like on the thing that I'm currently making. She's not doing that at the moment, so I can still work on it, but that's what she usually does. So I'm surprised she's being so restrained and just sitting. She's sitting on one of the full color palettes though. So apparently we don't need that one. It's the teals. We're not using that palette. Apparently we're not invited to use those colors. And then I want my tape, I think I want it to be, those are vibrant. Maybe I want it to be, maybe vintage or Victorian velvet might be a kind of a cool tape color. Let's try and see what happens. Where is it? It's in this one. It's not the one she's sitting on, so I can still use that one. I kind of want to do a few different color combos just to play. Like this is kind of, you know, this isn't for anything specific, so I can kind of just play with it. And then I'm gonna add it to a project as I see fit. I mean, after I get the dies and can actually die cut the images later. Yeah, see, it's hard to tell what it's going to look like once it's dry because, of course, the pigment's going to move a little bit. Yeah, I kind of like Victorian velvet as the tape. It's kind of a fun color. Oh, okay. Well, she's done her visit. She left. Oh, that's cute. All right. I kind of want to do this one in purple. I feel like that would be a purple one. Again, though, picky on the purple. Because, you know, I'm thinking maybe Wilted Violet and Villainous Potion. Maybe. Wilted Violet is probably my favorite purple of the palette. With Seedless Preserves like right behind it. Because you guys know I like vibrant colors. If you've been with my channel for a little bit, you know I like vibrant colors. So we're just going to add a little of the Wilted Violet, and then we'll add just a touch of Villainous Potion. And it's going to be interesting because it's completely going to depend on how it dries as to what the color is doing, right? And I mean, I didn't heat emboss this or anything, so the color is going to move some. Not a ton, I don't think, but a little. There's a cat hair in my water brush. Are you guys working on anything while we're chatting? Did you bring out a project to work on while we talk? It's always interesting because some people will use this time to like create their own stuff, or some people just like hang out and chat, which is lovely. So it's always interesting to know what everybody's kind of working on or doing. I still can't believe you met Tim Holtz this weekend, Amy. That's so exciting. Like, what a cool experience. I feel like he'd be a super nice guy. Like, super down to earth, super genuine. He seems like he'd be a super nice guy. I don't know. I've never met him, but just based on everything I've kind of, all the lives and whatever, he always seems like he'd be a super nice dude. This would be really fun to do these in like shades of brown too, so they kind of got that like dried edge look, whereas I'm kind of making them look like they're still in bloom more than they're dried flowers necessarily. Because of course you guys know I like vibrant colors, so I tend that direction. And I might color the stem, but I would wait until the purple was completely dry. Unless I use a blue, I guess. Because otherwise the colors are going to mix, right? And I don't really want to introduce brown to my purple if I can avoid it. And then let's just add a touch of Villainous Potion. So Annalisa, are you going to get all the pencils? Have I tempted you enough yet? Because I know you've been kind of holding off for now. Just a touch of darker pigment into some of them. Because I love variation. I recently, not that this is related to anything crafty, but I recently bought some watercolor brushes for my for Procreate to use on my iPad, so that when I'm doing my sticker sheets that I'm working on, I can add like more of a watercolor effect. Because you guys know I draw digitally so that I can make stuff out of the stuff. But yeah, I bought some watercolor brushes just so I could create like a more of a realistic watercolor texture into the art that I've been drawing. So pretty neat that people create brushes like that. Okay, I like that. I think we could paint the tape, and then maybe we'll leave the stem, and I'll paint the stem once everything's dry. So for the tape, if you guys have any opinions on colors, you can let me know. Pick a color, and we'll do something in it. I'd love to do one of them green for sure. But I'm thinking for the tape on this one, I might do milled lavender, because it's kind of a gray purple, which kind of might be fun. I mean, and after everything dries back a little bit, right? So we might have to go back in and add a little bit of color later once everything's kind of dry. But milled lavender is like a purpley gray color, so that's kind of a fun neutral to do the tape in. I think I might do that one in green, because it looks kind of like a sprig from a tree to me. Were you going to say green for the tape? Oh, I'm sorry. Value. I started painting before you got there. I think we're going to do this one in green, though, so we'll do that next. And what color tape do you think the green one should have? I think we're going to do that, and then we might have to go in and just add a little bit of shading. Are you going to buy... Because you're missing 3 of the sets, Annalisa, if I remember. I think... If I remember correctly, you're missing 4, 5, and 6, right? I know you're missing the newer one, so it must be those. And then, of course, Scorched Timber, because it's separate. All right, let's do you in green. And we were thinking, what kind of green? Something a bit... Maybe Bundled Sage. It's a cool color. Let's pick Bundled Sage. Well, Bundled Sage isn't in this one, though, is it? Maybe it is. Shabby Shutters. Oh, yeah, it's in the middle. Bundled Sage is right there. I'm like checking my color swatch to see where they fall in the actual lineup too. But I think Bundled Sage would be a fun color. And then maybe the tape should be brown for this one. Let's not put my hand on what I just painted though. And then maybe we could bring in a touch of pine needles or something maybe. Ooh, or Rustic Wilderness, just to add a little bit more. Well, that may not. I'm trying to think of what would add some more variation to Bundled Sage. And then this one is not going to get a stem color. It's just going to all be green. Because I feel like it would be. Now one of the flowers. You're just a huge fan of green. We can do one of the flowers in a different, like a greeny tealy blue color or something. Or a more vibrant green. These are certainly simple to paint because they're not that crazy in detail. They're like all small, which is pretty fun. I'm missing 4, 5, and 6. But you have scorched timber? So did you buy scorched timber separate? Yeah, because it comes separate because picket fence is in the first set. Do you like browns, Arlene? Are you drawn to browns? I tend to not use brown very much, personally. It's kind of not what I'm drawn to as a general rule, but it has its place, right? But I kind of don't tend towards the browns very often. I like vibrant colors too much. I am going to use pine needles just to add a touch at the base of some of the leaves. I have another cat hair in my brush. Stop it. Just because I want a little color variation in some of the... And I mean, worst of the worst, again, like, we might have to come back and just add a little bit of color in to some of them. Like, this is turning out really pretty. I can't wait to go in and add the stem detail. And I think I'm going to use Vintage Photo for the piece of tape across the green one. I think that'd be really pretty. Brown and green are very nature-esque, very pretty together. That's the only thing is you have so many color options. Right? When you have them all, you kind of have more color options because now you have 72 colors. But if you only have the first 3 sets, you only have, whatever colors you have. So that is always like a thing. Like, you have to think about that. But I mean, I'm a bit of a collectionist. I like to have all the colors. What do you use your browns for, Arlene? Do you just use them like as the everyday colors? Because I tend towards vibrant colors. So I don't tend to pick up the browns very much. I'm not. Oh, okay, you use them to add like grunge to things? Fair. Hi. Last ones that came out. Yeah, I think that's 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, I'm not very grungy. I try every once in a while to add a little grunge to something, but I struggle to add grunge to things because as a general rule, I'm really, like, I'm vibrant. I love bright colors, bright fun colors, so I struggle to add the browns to things. But they kind of add a fun, I bring them in when I do vintage, though. Like, I'll use Vintage Photo a lot to, like, vintage up things, but that's kind of like my extent of grunge. Yeah, Tim Holtz does a really great grunge. I am not so. I tried steampunk. I'm trying to work on steampunk. Cello sticker tape that just... No? Did you see the new Ideology cello sticker tape that was just released? No. I saw the release come out, but I have not gone and actually like looked at the release because I was waiting for the live because the makes generally sell me on things. When the makers make things. And then I'm like, look at all this cool Ideology stuff I have that I don't know what to do with. I'm really bad for that. Backgrounds for your cards. Do you do them in browns or you just add brown like for a little bit of extra grunge? Like I struggle to not bust out the vibrant colors. Okay, cat hair. Get out of my flower. Really? I mean, cat hair in my stuff doesn't really surprise anybody, but there we go. I'm using Salvage Patina at the moment, just so you guys know. I love this color. Make sure I am actually using Salvage Patina. I am. I almost wish I had stamped this in my stamping platform because now I'm like, you're losing some of the detail. So I wish I could go back and add back in some of the detail, like stamp over top of it. But it's really hard to line up stamps when you don't have them lined up beforehand. I think I might add just a touch of, what are you? Hi! Mermaid Lagoon. Apparently now Amber is going to come and hang out. Amber like the flame, not Amber like the person. Hi, sweet pea. What are you doing? No, you don't need to come and steal the fluff off my microphone. No, you don't need to step in the watercolor. My microphone has like a little fluff on it, right? So it hopefully helps regulate the p sounds. But she likes to steal the little fluff off of my microphone. No, you can't have the mic. Hi. Do you want to watercolor? Do you want to sit on my chair? Hey? She's like, no, I'm going to sit in the middle of the table. Sit in the back of the table. What is this? Excuse me, can you not chew on plastic, please? Excuse me, ma'am. She's so funny. Okay, there we go. What color would I do your stem? Blue. Now she's trying to lick my straw. Oh boy. I'm thinking maybe ground espresso would be kind of fun. Let's try it. Yeah, that's why I'm so excited, because he does on Saturday. He's doing the release and I have Saturday off, so I'm really excited. I'm gonna go watch his lives. I like to collect the ideology stuff and then like have zero idea what to do with it. So my goal this year is to take the ideology stuff and actually make something with it. That's my like this year. So I don't know when, but one day there will be a video or live, I don't know, of me making something with my ideology stuff. That's like the goal. So we'll see how it happens, but that's what I'm going to attempt to do. I think I might, weathered wood might be cool. Where are you? You're in the blues, right? No. Yes. Is this weathered wood? No. Oh, that's weathered wood. I think weathered wood would be kind of cool for this. No, you get back in your spot. But yeah, I has goals, and one of them is to attempt to make something with Tim Holtz ideology lineup. But now I'm excited about the cello tape. I'm gonna have to go look after the live and see what you're referring to, because I have a new obsession with like washi tapes and stuff. Going back to Lawn Fawn, I know that some of you guys are Tim fans, but Lawn Fawn has been making these super cute washi tapes lately. So every once in a while I like add one onto my order because I'm like, why not? They're just so cute. And one of my goals for 2024 was to design and create my own washi tape for my little stationery shop. So I'm like obsessed with other people's tape right now so that I can like see it and see what I like and see what I don't like and see like design stuff. Like they're just so fun. You could outline it with a fine detail black pen and do it. That's what I'm thinking about doing at the end. And Elise, I agree. I think I'm going to take one of my black fine liners and just go around the lines again and kind of bring that detail back up. Just so that I can, like, I'm not losing all the detail. Because, I mean, they oxidize a little bit, right? So they kind of, you lose some of the finer lines. So that's what actually, I 100% think that's a great idea. So I'm just going to, like, outline them again after. But that's after everything's dry and all the layers are done. So, what color palette do we want to do? Me too. I'm a collector. Yeah, Arlene, I'm kind of bad. Although I use the stuff, so it's not like I like just buy things and I never use them. I try really hard to use the things that I buy. But like I own all of the oxides. I own all of the distress inks in minis. I own all of the pencil crayons. I own most of the sprays. Not all of them, but most of them. And I own some of the paints, and I own some of the crayons. And of course, it's the same colors. Like, they're all the same colors. It's only 72 colors. But yeah, I kind of tend to collect them. Love it. So fun. Yes. His ideology, you know what? All of Tim Holtz makers are phenomenal. It doesn't matter what release we're looking at. But his ideology makers, like, the stuff that they come out with is just phenomenal. Like, I'm always so excited to watch the Ideology lives just because I'm so excited to see what they've come up with this time. You know, like, because he comes out with these cool items and then they come out with these phenomenal designs. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's so fascinating to see. Like, I love it so much. So I'm always super excited. So Saturday I'll be really exciting to watch the live because I love to see what the makers do. Like, they're just so incredibly talented. Have you seen the AALL and Create washi tape, where you tear off 4 pieces and it makes a picture? I don't think I have, Peggy. What brand is that? AALL. I don't know if I know what brand that is. I'll have to look into it because I'm really into like people's washi tapes right now, just because I love to see, because I'm working on designing one, right? So I'm looking to see what other businesses and whatever are doing. Not that I intend to copy anything. It's just I want to know what my preferences are so that I can make what I want to my preference, right? So like I'm buying different thicknesses and different, different materials. Some are, it's like all in Create only. Oh, okay. I don't know if I know that brand. Where are they from? Where are they based? Do you know? Are they like an American brand? Are they a European brand? Not that, well, I mean, it matters in as much as I like to know who I'm supporting. Okay, it doesn't matter. I was just curious if you knew off the top of your head. I'll have to check them out. Okay, AALL. I will go and look at them after live. After I go and check out this Tim Holtz tape that Arlene was just talking about. And then I like go and look at this stuff, and then I call up my local ladies, and I'm like, did you see this? I need you to bring it in for me. And they get to go and hunt it down and see how to bring it in. Because, of course, I like to support local as much as possible. Because we don't want them going out of business. I don't want anybody to go to business. It's always heartbreaking to see when somebody's struggling. Like a company and stuff. Like, it's so hard to see. I think we're going to add some wild honey. Wild honey? Ooh, maybe rusty hinge. Just for a little bit of, yeah. Okay. It's like a kid in a candy shop. I just get to pick colors. It's so fun. Okay, I'll have to look up those because I want to see what all these companies are doing. Yeah, like tapes are getting really popular. I like love that so much. And washi books and stuff, like Stamperia just brought out a bunch of washi sticker books, which is so cool. So Vicky Papineau, and I don't think I'm pronouncing her last name properly, but in her newest release, The Secret Diary, she brought like washi stickers out, and like I'm so excited. I got them. I'm so excited to play with them. So I just want to give them a go and see what they're like. Because like I like washi tape, so like washi stickers are right up that alley. Like that's so neat. We're going to have to do a red flower. This is going to end up being like a rainbow situation. I don't even intentionally mean it to. It's just the direction I go when I pick colors. You do? Did you have them all finally, Annalisa? Nice. I know you were collecting the Popsicolor from Scrapbook. That's cool. What do I want your stem to be? Do I want brown or green? What do you guys think for the stem of this yellow one? Brown or green? I don't know. I think I'm going to make this guy red. The flowers on that one red because I think that would be really fun. So while I wait for you to pick a stem color, I'm going to paint those ones red. What red do I want? I think. Aged mahogany is really pretty. Maybe lumberjack plaid just to be different. I don't think I've ever used lumberjack plaid for anything. Let's use lumberjack plaid. Actually, we could use maybe like abandoned coral with a little bit of lumberjack plaid. That might be really cool. Let's try that. All right. Another cat hair. Go figure. She didn't shift. No. I forgot to look and see if Ember actually shifted the camera. But she didn't. She just rubbed on the base. What is your favorite crafty product that you didn't think that you would like? Mine has to probably be like washi tape because I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. But then I get it and I'm like, this is so much fun. I like to add it now. Again, I use it a lot in pen pal stuff, but I'll like add it to like the start of a pen pal letter. I'll like add a little line of washi tape, or I send postcards to random people and I'll like put some washi tape on the postcards. Like that's probably one of my favorite random crafty supplies that I've just been like having a blast with. Like it's so fun. And I don't know why, because it's literally just like tape. But the designs that people are coming out with, like I have one design from a small business, and it's like dark green with trees and these like stars, and they're silver. Like it's so pretty. Ooh, that might actually be sitting right here. I could probably show you guys. I think it's sitting right here. Let me see. I'll look really quick and see if I can show you. Because I have a little bin of washi tape I keep like off the side of the desk. The other one are like these stamp washi tapes that 49 The Market makes. Like so pretty. So like this is the, oh, I just dropped it. This is the washi tape I'm talking about with the trees and the sparkles. I don't know how well you guys can see that. Hopefully you can see it. But like the trees are all like different layers of green, and the stars are all sparkly, like so flippin' pretty. And then these, like 49 The Market, make these postage stamp washi rolls, and they're just different postage stamps. So this is their fall version. And it, like, look at the stunning colors. Like, and then you just rip them apart and they're just one stamp. So I love using them. They're so fun. And then they have like all different versions of these. So I've only collected 3 so far, but they have like the fall version. I think this was like I don't even know what these ones were specific to, but like I love the different color palettes. So I've been slowly like collecting these postage notes washi tapes because they're just so fun. And I love postage stamps. Like I just love the shape of postage stamps. I just think they're so fun. Message retracted. What did you say? Oh no, Marcy, I missed something. I can just see you remove the message. I don't know what it said. Mine would be distressed spray stains. You bought them not thinking you'd like them and then loved them? Is that what you're referring to? I have a couple of spray stains. Oh, the mica sprays would be another one. I love the mica sprays. They're so fun. Hi, Linda. How are you today? Thanks for hanging out, coming in, joining us. We're just watercoloring some of these beautiful images that Tim Holtz brought out. And then I'm going to go over them after, I think, with a pen to just kind of get some of the colors, the dark lines back. Because some of them are kind of being washed out a bit. Oh, well, you don't have to fix typos. That's okay. Arlene, are you talking about the one with the trees and the stars? Isn't it pretty? Yeah, not local. Another YouTube artist drew that, and I was like, I had to have it. It's so pretty. So I use it in my winter stuff because I felt like it was very winter-esque. Okay, that was rude. All right, what do I want to do for stems on the yellow one? I think I'm going to go green. Nobody voted, so I'm just going to pick a color. Evergreen bough, maybe? No, I kind of want something a little bit more muted. Let's go rustic wilderness. It's kind of a fun color he brought out. Yeah, the postage stamps are pretty neat, right? And they have a whole bunch of them. I only have a couple because I'm kind of like I don't need 16 of them because I don't use them super often. Peeled paint. Okay, deal. Peeled paint it is. Peeled paint I think is in beside crushed olive, which I think is right here. Peeled paint. Good call, Arlene. Good call. We'll kind of do this. These ones are pretty dry. Yeah, okay, I can rest my hand there. I don't want to put my hand over top of it if it's not quite dry. And I am kind of intentionally trying to go out of the lines with the the stem color, just because I think it kind of adds a little bit of interest. And a little more color. Because the yellow one's dry now, so going in with the green's not really going to disturb anything. What color should we use for the tape? Hey, Shadow. Have you guys ever really met Shadow? She's not much of a jumping up kitten, so you probably don't get to see her as much. Shadow. Do you want to say hi, Shadow? Come here, sweetie. Say hi. Hello, everybody. Don't try to eat my mic, though. Say hello, peoples of the internet. Oh, Shadow. This is my Shadow. Her and Mist are sisters. So Mist is the gray one. They're sisters. Shadow is becoming a lot more cuddly and sweet since Ty passed away, because her and Ty used to be really close. Hey, you. No, don't steal my microphone. No. Brat. Okay. You going down? There you go. Yeah, Shadow, she doesn't jump up much, so she doesn't get on my desk very often. And when she does get on the desk, it's usually like she just lays up here. Like she doesn't. Old paper it is. Arlene has spoken. Sounds good. So no, you guys don't get to see her quite as much. I don't think you get to see Shade that often either, although you did see him in the last, the first live, because he was sleeping on my chair. So I showed him off, and then him and Ember are siblings, the brother and sister. Because I tend to adopt two, or we, I say I, Chris and I, my husband and I, we tend to adopt two out of the same litter, just because then they have a friend. I find that they learn better, and they just tend to do better when there's two of them. So we have siblings. All right, what should we do for the red stem? Although it's not quite dry, so we might have to skip it for a minute. And we might have to add a second layer to some of the washi tapes, or the piece of tape, just to darken up the color a touch. Yes, there is. Those are our four: Shade, Shadow, Mist, and Ember. Yes, and of course there was Ty, but you guys know he passed in August. And a local carpenter friend of mine actually made him a really beautiful box that his ashes can go in. And he just told me the other day, I didn't know he was making the box. I was kind of sourcing someone who would make us a box for Ty's ashes. And he actually messaged me the other day and let me know that he had made us one. So that's really, really sweet and really kind. And I'm going to have to go pick it up here soon. But yeah. So what do we got? I'd add a brown to the red so it doesn't look like Christmas. Okay, yeah, we could do brown for the stem or the tape. Peggy, what do you think? I need that to dry a bit more before I do the stem. It's still pretty wet in there, and I don't want the stem to, I don't want brown to run into my red. I didn't do the stem on the purple one yet either. We should do that. So what do we want to do with the purple? I'm thinking, both darker stem and a lighter tag. Okay, someone's out there honking their horn. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but that was kind of weird. Dark stem and lighter tag. Okay. We're going to come back to the red one in a second, just because it's not dry. Although I could do the tag. What, a lighter brown? Do a light brown for the tape and a dark brown for the stem? We could do that. What do we think is a light brown? What haven't we used? We haven't used scorched timber. We could use scorched timber for the stem. And then, not that pumice stone, technically pumice stone is between a brown and a gray, but we could do pumice stone for the tape, just to do something different. What do you think, Peggy? You're picking it, my friend. Hickory smoke. For which one, Arlene? Because we used hickory smoke on something, didn't I? I feel like I used it on something. Maybe I didn't. Hickory smoke for the... Sounds perfect. All right, we're going to do... what did I just say? Scorched timber for the stem, although I need a second for it to dry. And then we're going to... Oop, I just smacked the microphone. Sorry, guys. Wait, itchy shoulder. And then we're going to use hickory smoke for the... Where are you going? You go there, I think. No, not there. I'm trying not to mess up my pencil so I can find them. Okay, we're going to do the tag because I can do that now. But I have to wait for the blooms to dry before I can really go on and do anything with them. Hi! There, I was just telling you that Shadow doesn't jump up, and then she literally jumped up. Let's not stand on my wet paper, though. Pete, no, you can't have my microphone. You can't has it. Nope, you can't has it. Bradzilla, what are you doing? She's trying to steal my microphone. I don't know if you guys can actually see her foot, but she's trying to smack my microphone. You're making it hard to paint things. You're very cute, though. Jado. Jado. What are you doing, Jado? Hi, Pete. Oh boy, sweet girl. What are you doing? Are you stealing the show? You're gonna have to move, sweet pea. Why don't you go lay on the other desk? Here. Why don't you go lay over here? Come on. There you go. There you go, sweet girl. I have a little towel and stuff laid out on my other desk so they can sleep there if they want to. All right, so we painted the tape. I need the red to dry a bit more because this one's still a bit wet. And then we'll go in and add the scorched timber to that one. So what are we thinking here? We got a couple left before we'll go in and do some pen. A good call on the hickory smoke. That tape turned out pretty cool. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, I think all three of them now have been on the desk. The only one who hasn't made the desk is Shade so far. So, what color have we not done? I guess we haven't done a green floral. So maybe we could do this guy. Well, I mean, he's green technically, although he ended up a bit tealier than I... Maybe we'll do like a more vibrant green? Geen. More vibrant geen. Oh boy. Or... Do you guys have color thought? Ooh, Stormy Sky might be kind of a fun one. That's a really pretty blue. Let's try Stormy Sky for one. Just because I love the color of it. I just think it's really, really catching. Like eye-catching. So let's try you on, I don't know which one. Maybe this fun tippy one here. I think that'd be really pretty. And then, what do you guys think for the other couple? We have 4 more to color. Does anybody have any opinions on what we color should do? We could do one that was all brown, although I don't want it to look like it's dead. Like dried, like completely dried. I do want them to kind of look like they still have some color. So we can do one in a different shade of something. What are we missing for shades? We kind of have yellow and orange, red, pink, purple, blue, green. I guess we kind of hit all the notes of the rainbow. Anybody have an opinion? Is there any specific color we should pick now? I think, see, Stormy Sky is just kind of a pretty one. I want to kind of do something in Seedless Preserve. I know it's another purple, but I just think the color is really pretty and so different from Wilted Violet. But maybe I should save it and do it on one of these. Because we still have these two. I might do that one and see this preserves. Uh-oh. Wee woo. Wee woo, wee woo. See this preserves. Yep, I'm going to do this one in purple. You guys tell me a color. We should do one of the other ones as the main color. I don't have an orange flower. That's true. This one has a little bit of orange on it, but we could do like a full-blown orange one. Yeah. We could do like maybe spiced marmalade is a really pretty orange. Carved pumpkin? Okay, you want a bright orange? Let's do carved pumpkin. Deal. Carved pumpkin it is. That's my favorite orange when I do a rainbow blend. Sounds good. And I think I'm going to do this tape in like a yellow, just because I love purple and yellow together. Well, I mean, they're complementary colors, so that makes sense, but... And then we will do a carved pumpkin here in a second. Cat hair. Hi, Shadow. Shadow just went under the desk. I have blankets on the floor under both of my desks because I have an editing desk that has my computer and everything, and then I have my crafty desk. And both of the desks have like blankets and stuff that they can lay on because they like to hang out in here with me. So pretty much every surface in here is a bed because I spend so much time in here, right? So the cats hang out in a lot of the beds with me. I might do this guy orange, actually. What do you guys think? He's quite pretty. They're all pretty. I mean, Tim Holtz picks beautiful art. There's no question. Carved pumpkin. All right. Any other thoughts on a color we're kind of missing? I mean, we could do it. Well, we have two blue ones now, I guess. Let me know if you can think of a color we're missing that because we have two left that don't have colors yet. So pick out a primary color for them, and we'll do that. Do you guys have an opinion on what stem color carved pumpkin should have? Tell me your thoughts. I need to know. I don't know what color we should do the tape in. Maybe gray? You want green? Sure. We could do green. Carved pumpkin. I might add just a touch of shadow. Hi, sweet girl. You can't have my microphone. You can't has it. I know you wants it, but you can't has it. She's like standing on my pencil crayons. Or pencil, watercolor pencils, I guess they're called. I like to call them pencil crayons, even though that's not what they are. Purple? What do you want to do in purple? The tape? We could do it like milled lavender. Okay, sweet girl. You can't pull on that cord either. Come here. Sit over there, please. We're almost, well, we're not almost done, but we're getting close to done. We almost have them all colored. And then we'll pick a fine liner and go in. Well, we can do the stem on the red one now. Bring in some scorched timber and fix that stem. I was kidding about the purple. You never kid about purple. Peggy. Oh, we don't kid about purple around here. Purple's where it's at. No, we could probably pull it off though. I bet you I could make purple work, just saying. Except we just did purple and yellow right beside it. I might tone that yellow a little bit though. It's a little bit vibrant. There we go. Your stem is done. For a stem, purple is great. For anything, purple is great. Purple's where it's at. You can't convince me otherwise, because purple is purple. I am going to tone this back a little bit though. I'm going to try something here. I want to add just a touch of this guy. It's just a touch of tattered rose. I want to tone it just a touch. A different color here. Like I still want it to be yellow, but I want it to be just a bit of a different tone of yellow. There. I like that a bit better. Okay. Iced spruce for the tape or stem on the orange. All right, Amy. Iced spruce. I don't think I've used iced spruce lately. Oh. Iced spruce I think is in with the blues. Yeah, it's right there. Iced spruce it is. Do we want a tape or the stem? I mean, a blue stem with an orange flower could be really pretty, although iced spruce is closer to a dark bluey. Well, no, it's still technically a blue. Let's go stem, because blue and orange together are really pretty usually. Oh, this is almost like a gray-y blue. But that's going to be really pretty. Good call. Good call, Amy. You're hired. I think that's going to be really pretty. And then we still need two main colors for the other ones. Does anybody have any thoughts? Good. You should get your pencils out and do something. I don't know what, but something. I'm excited to figure out what I'm going to do with these. Like, I know that I want to attach them to things, but I just don't know what yet. Hey, how do you guys feel about tags? Thoughts? I know some people prefer you to like do an actual finished project. Like a card is like a full-on project. Although a tag can be a full-on project. I just mean like some people don't understand the point of tags. So I was just curious if anybody had a thought. I might do this in Lost Shadow. I think Lost Shadow would be really pretty. Because it's such a like really pretty gray. So I think the two of them together. Because this gray will help that one be a little more bluey, greeny color. Yeah, all right. Oh no, come back. Okay, I need to do the stem on the purple one. What color do I want it? Maybe not. Maybe. Maybe pumice stone would be fun. Let's try that. I've given tags for bookmarks and have a few and may add them to cards. Yeah, so I don't know. I've been thinking about like small projects that I could do for like reels and shorts. So not like a full-on video necessarily, but, and like when I first started crafting, I like borrowed my friend's, I have my own tag die now, but at the time I did not. So I borrowed my friend's tag die and I cut like 6 zillion tags, and then I never made any tags. So, oh, a tag book would be freaking cool. That's a good idea right there. But so I have like, this is my stack of tags. Now, some of them are the manila color because they're from Tim Holtz. But these are like, so they're all the same size because this is the die that I used. But like, look how many tags I have. Although the tag book is a really good idea, Peggy. I could use washi tape and like zigzag it and create with them. That would be fun. That's a great idea. But that would be a video. But I was thinking, like, you know how Vicky Papineau makes videos and they're like reels and shorts and stuff. And she just does those cool, hers are a card, like a heavyweight. But I'm like, I have 6 million tags and I don't know what to do with them. Not 6 million literally, of course. But I'm like, do you think that'd be something you guys would want to watch? Like, shorts of just making fun tags, kind of like not the same as what Vicky Papineau is doing, but similar idea to making some fun tags. Okay, those just need to dry. Now we have these ones to do. What do you think? I don't have a clue either. I'm going to be honest with you, Peggy. I don't know how to start a tag book either, although that sounds pretty fun. I'm thinking you could take those tags and like washi tape them together. Oh, sorry, that was pretty loud. And then you'd be able to like just start building from there. See, I don't know if you would make the tag first and then washi tape them together, or washi tape them together so you have your base and then go from there. Oh, I need the stem color for you. Let's do something different. Aged mahogany, maybe? That might be fun. I like that color. Oh, you're over here. There you are. Yeah, fabric tape would be a great idea. Because it's so pliant. Like, it doesn't just collapse when you have to build it. Because, I mean, you're going to be folding it and unfolding it tons, right? So that would be a cool idea. And then kind of like you tape one and then you open. Like, it's like an accordion. Not an accordion. Like a Z fold, I guess. When you like... And then it flips, and then it, you know, like, not like a book. I don't know if I'm explaining myself very well. Hopefully it makes sense, Peggy. But I think that would be really cool to make a tag book. Although I feel like that would be an actual video, not what I'm talking about. Because I feel like that would be pretty involved. But fabric tape is interesting. Who's doing fabric tape right now? Did Tim Holtz come out with some? No, I think it was Prima that came out with some really cool fabric tape. I was looking at their really neat, or maybe it was 49th and Market. I don't know. Somebody just did some really cool fabric tapes that I recently saw. 49th and Market. Yeah, that's okay. So that's it. Who it is. I saw it when I was buying those postage washi rolls, and I was like, these are neat, but I couldn't come up with a way I would use them. And I try really hard to, in my mind, have a way to use the thing before I buy the thing. And if I can't come up with a way, then I don't buy it, because then I'm like, well, it's just going to sit here and you're not going to use it. So like, I try really hard to have some idea of what I'm going to do with something before I purchase it, right? Even if it takes me a little while to actually make the thing, like the ideology stuff. But I always try to have like an idea in mind. But I really want to do an art journal. So I think we might start a series on the channel where we do like art journals. Because I think that would be just a really fun expression. Because my cards, I give them away, right? Or I mail them, or I sell them, or whatever. Like, I don't keep them. So I thought it would be kind of fun to do something where, like, the art journal is mine. I keep it. Right? So it's kind of like a sketchbook that I keep. But it's art journaling. So I kind of would like to do more art journaling, I think. I made one. Peggy. Did I ever show you my, it's actually more of a, well, it could be anything. It could be a sketchbook. It could be a, so you know how I want to get into more journal making and whatever. So I actually made a journal and then I refused to use it. Let me see. I can show you. It's right here. And I haven't quite figured out what's going on the front. Sorry, there's a paper bag there that I'm saving for something. So I made this journal. So this is what I call it, a journal. It's more of like a sketchbook or a, I don't even know, but I made this. And it has, this is fabric tape. So there you go. This is just black fabric tape. And it's got like, oh, sorry, the beads just hit the desk. So it's got like a little thing you can store like ephemeras or whatever. And then there's white heavy cardstock, white regular cardstock, and then a little bit of an off-white cardstock, and I believe a watercolor. Yeah, this one's a watercolor paper. So it has four different styles of paper in it, because there's a watercolor, like kind of an off-white, and then there's two different weights of a white. It doesn't, my binding, well, it's sitting on beads, that doesn't help. It doesn't open really well, so I'd have to reconsider my binding in the future. But yeah, I made this, and then the watercolor, of course, doesn't really want to bend well. But then it repeats, so it's got your two white sheets, your manila sheets, and then your watercolor. So every like fourth page is a watercolor paper. But yeah, so it's, and then of course it has this same folder on the back, and then like a little pen holder or whatever you want to put there. And then that's the back. Yeah. But you end up wasting like this much paper for the binding method that I chose. So I don't know if I'd do the same binding method again, although it looks really pretty. And see, you can see here the binding method, and then there's the beads and stuff. Because, you know, beading is very pretty, so there's just like beading that hangs off of it. And I haven't done it yet, but I want to put like a mold. I want to put like I haven't decided. It's probably going to be a butterfly, because you guys know I love butterflies. But I want to put like a piece here. Yeah, but yeah, so this is a journal I made. And I've never used it, because I'm like, it's so pretty. I don't want to ruin it, but that's so silly. But also, it doesn't open well. So, like, the next time I bind something, I'm going to have to be a little... Because, like, you can't... You see what I mean? Like, it doesn't... Yeah. So, I have to re-ponder my binding. But I really want to do... So, this is a project I've been thinking about for a while. I want to do a sketchbook with different kinds of paper in it. And then I want to bind it with my... Because, you know, my husband bought me the cinch for Christmas. So I really want to do a project where I create a book like from scratch with the cinch. And then it's going to be like my test book where like everything goes. I can do whatever I want. And it's, you know, like a no judgment space. Because when you're learning something as an adult, there seems to be this like belief that you should just be a master. And obviously that's not possible, right? So it can be intimidating. So I really want to, you know. And then I also have an art journal from, oh shoot, I just forgot her name. Diana Reevely. There we go. I don't know if I pronounced that properly. But I have an art journal from Diana Reevely's collection that I have only done a couple of things in. And like, this is a beautiful book. And like, I was working with like gel prints and stuff. So like, this would be like the cast off like of my roller on like tissue papers. So, you know, when you're like rollering the ink onto a jelly plate, this would be like the leftover paint. Sorry, I say ink, it's paint. That I would like, then I just like roll it off on a piece of like deli paper, tissue paper. And then I saved it because I was like, that's so cool. I want to do something with it. I never did anything with it. But like, yeah, so I don't think, I was like smearing. This was before I understood color theory. So forgive me this page. But yeah, like I don't even know. I think I did one really cool, like, okay, here it is. I was playing with like drippy what are they? They're the Nuvo shimmer powders. And I was playing with like the technique of like running them down and whatever. But of course they got in the binding because of course this is a center binding. So they like ran into so many other pages. Not that I care, like who cares about that? But yeah, like but I have like this whole beautiful book. Oh, here's another one where I just rollered off. Because I'm like, it's a start of something, and then you could put paint over top if you didn't like it. Right? Although I kind of like the colors in this. I think they're really pretty. And there's like gold in there. But like, that's all I've ever done in here. Like, so I have this huge, beautiful book that has nothing in it. Well, except for a few random weird pages. And some, like, splatters that came off of the drippies. But yeah, like, how sad is that? Right, get some large binder clips to hold it open. Yeah, I could definitely try that. But the watercolor paper tries to crack when you try to, like, force it open. And then I have a little one, which you guys saw me work in because I did a video when I followed along with Vicky Papano's art pages. So like, and then I have this like little one that I've done a couple of, because again, vibrant. Like this is just playing. This one was kind of just playing. Here's an actual page that I spelled breathe wrong on. Oops. And then I added a little E. I'm like, haha, look guys, I didn't spell it wrong. This is a page that I did a long time ago. This one's pretty fun though, although I never added a sentiment. But yeah, like, I have these books and I don't use them. So I want to really get more into using them, you know. But then I'm like, make your own. I'm like, but you already have some books. Why don't you just use the books you have? Oh boy. Anyway, let's paint these last two florals. I got sidetracked there. Went off on a little tangent. I think we're going to do one in a light green. I'm thinking like mowed lawn or... No, sorry, twisted citron. Just because we can. Because I think it would be fun. Probably, that was the one that... I've had that book for a long time. I don't know which one to do. Maybe this one? Because they look like they're all kind of closed. I've had that book for like the Diane Reevely one. I don't know if I'm not pronouncing her name properly, but I've had that book like a long time. Like 5 years or something. And I've, like you saw how much I've worked in it. So now that I'm getting to a point, I'm like, hey, like let's bust this stuff out and work in it. Because there's no point in owning stuff you're not going to use. And those are cool. Those are really nice books. Right? Okay. What do I want to do in the other one? I guess I could do like a dark pink. Just because I can. Maybe. I'm going to do picked raspberry as a base. Because I can. Because these are mine. And I've got pretty much every other color. We just didn't do a brown one. But I don't really want a brown one because I feel like that would look like too dried. And I want them to look like they still have color. I might actually mix a touch of purple in here. Because I can. Because we've pretty much done everything else, so I'm like, maybe I want to blend some color. Do you guys have an opinion on the tape or the stems for the last two? I'm going to add just a touch of purple. What purple do I want to add to that? Maybe a touch of wilted violet, because it is my favorite. So on the base of some of the flowers, I'm just going to go in with like a touch of purple. Do you guys have any opinion of stuff you'd like to see on the channel? Because if you do, please tell me. Like, I'm more than happy to add some different stuff to the channel. If there's something you want to see or want to do together, let me know. Because I mean, I'm kind of just going off my own ideas, and sometimes they're phenomenal, and sometimes they're not that great. Kind of depends on what I'm coming up with these days. Like, if there's something you want to see, please tell me. Oh, yeah, see? Pink and purple. Mm-hmm. I just like me some pink and purple. What are you hooked on? Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to figure out what's... Okay, I don't know what's happening, guys. I'm sorry. Hold on. Am I... It says that it, like, stopped streaming, but then I can see myself over here. So tell me if you can hear or see anything. Let me know if it fixed it or not. You can still hear and see me? Okay. So weird. So it's telling me that the program's broken, but it obviously is working fine over here, so I don't know what's happening. Do I sound okay? Like, now you're hearing me from a completely different microphone. That one died, apparently, even though I charged it. So you're gonna hear me a bit further away. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Okay, we're almost done. So, you know, we're just gonna finish up the last one, and then we're gonna go over some of the details in pen, and then we're pretty much done. So thank you guys for sticking out my little blip there. That was kind of weird. I didn't realize I was talking to myself. I didn't realize my microphone had died, but apparently it died. So, okay, what color should we do the stem of this pink and purpley flower here? She's quite pretty, I think. Let me know your thoughts. Because we just have that stem and that paper left, and then we need to bring out the fine liner and kind of go around. I'm just going to grab my fine liners while we figure out what color to do there. So let me know what you guys think. Light brown. No, I was talking to you and I'm sitting here like, is nobody responding? Oh, well, because you can't hear me, so, oh boy. Oh boy. Light brown. Okay, Linda, which one? So I don't know what we consider light brown, but here's my color swatch. So we could do, I don't know if we've done old paper. I think we've done old paper on one of the sticker, like the washi tape pieces. I don't think we've used frayed burlap either. So tell me what you think light brown is. Gathered twigs would probably be really pretty. My mouth is moving and there I am just talking to myself. Ground espresso? Okay, deal. Ground espresso is pretty. And what do you want to do for the piece of tape? Anybody have an opinion? It has a lot of water. Okay. What color would the piece of tape be? Should have realized something was wrong when nobody was saying anything, but it's so hard to tell, right? Because I can only barely see that screen, so I didn't realize that no sound was going through. But now I know, that's okay. I'll sort it out for the next one. So we just need to do the washi tape on this. Ivory. Ooh. Okay. I think our closest ivory. All right, Linda, you tell me what color equates ivory off of the color chart. Old paper might work. Antique linen might work. You pick color and we'll go with it. Because I'm not sure which one would represent ivory off of here. Because we have white, but you wouldn't really be able to see white on the tag there. Antique linen? Okay, deal. Antique linen it is. Antique linen is in the purple set, I believe. Yep. Make sure I grab the right color, that would be kind of funny. After you picked one and then I don't grab the right one. Ugh. There we go. There, antique linen. Alright, so all we're going to do now is just go back over some of the details to bring them back to life, because some of them got covered with the color, so you can't really see it. So I thought we could go back over them with a fine liner, like especially the first one that I did. There was a lot more water than, or a lot more pigment than water, so you don't get like a watercolor look. You get more of a. I think the 5 will be good. Oh, 5 is kind of thick. Well, 5 is probably good for the thick lines. So I'm just going to go over some of the details to bring them back. And yes, it's going to be like sketchy hand drawn. And had I not taken it out of my, if I had stamped them with a stamp platform, you could just re-stamp them, but I didn't. So I'm just going to quickly add back in some of the detail. So a question I asked you guys before when I didn't realize my microphone wasn't working was, is there anything you'd like to see on the channel? Is there anything you'd like to learn or see or do, or, you know? Because now is a great time to give me some tips or ideas, or if you have any. Please let me know. Because I'm always happy to include other things if you have, you know, certain ideas or. But yeah. So I'm just going to kind of go in areas that the detail was lost. So not everywhere, but a couple of areas. Because I do want the black lines to be a little more visible than what some of them are. Like some of them you can't even tell if they were stamped in black. So. More watercolors? Okay. All this stuff. Thanks, Val. All this stuff. You're cute. Okay, so more watercoloring. Okay. So like a full-on watercolored card, maybe? Because watercoloring is not the medium I generally... Oh, we didn't color the purple stem. Shoot, hold on. I didn't realize the purple stem had no... Although I could just leave it. It's kind of pretty by itself. I might just leave it, actually. It could just be not colored in. That's okay, too. And do you prefer watercolors like a traditional pan color or like with the pencils, Linda? Do you have a preference? Because I mean, there's quite a few ways to watercolor. All the colors. Oh, okay, so it doesn't really matter what specifically, just some watercoloring. Okay, well, I mean, I haven't done a watercolored background in a while, but that could be quite pretty. So we could do some watercolored backgrounds. I did some at Christmas, but that was, of course, a while ago. This red one, like all the details of them. Does anybody else? Well, it's all watercolor, right? Like pigment and water, but there are different styles of watercolor. So like these are pencils, so they're like pigment in a pencil. So you can get pigments in a pan. You can get pigments that are liquid. You can have pigments that are like gouache. Like gouache is always an option, which is just more of an opaque watercolor as opposed to like a more translucent watercolor. So that's an option. So they're just kind of like different ways to watercolor, but it's all water and pigment, if that kind of makes sense. Just add in some of these details. Ink smooshing. Yeah, we could definitely do some ink smooshing. I haven't done that in a little while, so that would be really fun. I like to create the backgrounds with that kind of technique. Like ink smooshing makes such fun backgrounds. But we could die cut them too. I had an idea for a card with a really dark background and then like vibrant fun flowers, so we could ink smoosh and then die cut the flowers. That would probably be really, really pretty. Okay, what else has kind of detail missing? So we definitely could do something like that. That sounds interesting. Anybody else have any thoughts? Stuff we could, different techniques we should try. I know there was a conversation once about distress glaze and I haven't gotten there yet. Karen asked. We could definitely do some distress glaze stuff. Good night, Peggy. I hope you have a wonderful sleep. Okay. What about to challenge yourself with paper? I just did a pattern paper project. The card I showed you for Monday is pattern paper. Monday's video has pattern papers in it. But you're right, I actually have some plans for some other pattern paper based cards. Because I have some anniversary cards that I want to make, and there's this really beautiful pattern paper I picked out for it. So I want to bust that out. So good call, Val, we can do some of that, yeah. Thanks for coming to hang out, Peggy. Have a good sleep, or a good evening, whatever you're planning to do. Okay, I think those ones are maybe a little bit new. Alright, a couple more and then we're all finished. And then I just need to get the dies in so that I can die cut these out. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what Tim Holtz has for the live this weekend. Are you guys going to check out the live that Tim Holtz has this weekend? Is that something you're planning on Saturday? That's pretty good. You look good. I don't think these ones had too much. A little bit there. I like how this one turned out. There, I think that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with these. I'm going to hold them up so you guys can take a closer look at them, but I think they turned out pretty good. Let me know your thoughts. If you have a favorite one of any of the colors. I think they turned out pretty great. I like them all. I can't wait to die cut them so they're all separate so I can look at them. But there you go, guys. We're all finished. I think they turned out pretty great. Let me know if you have a favorite. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I'm sorry about that weird snafu we kind of had there. But yeah, I will see you guys again very soon, and Monday we'll have, of course, a new video we can check out. The orange, the pink and the purple, and the orange. Yeah, they turned out really cool. I like the mixed color of them. They're pretty neat. All right, my friends, I will see you again very soon, and thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it, and we'll have to hang out again soon. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you again very quickly here. Bye, guys.